to another video. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another movement show. Welcome back, Team Picasso. And on today, you guys, we are going to have, as you can see, some cucumber sausage and beef sauce and jasmine rice. With this jasmine rice, I did. Look at it. I just love the fragrant smell of jasmine rice. If you've never tried jasmine rice, it's a must try. I put some green onion in there. Of course, I seasoned it, salt, pepper, onion powder. These cucumbers, just regular cucumbers. I like the baby cucumbers, but they didn't have any baby cucumbers today. Beloved sauce, fresh. This one is a little spicy. I added some red pepper flakes in it, so it got a little kick to it. And of course, the tropical punch Kool-Aid, because that's the only thing that show up on camera. And we're going to. I haven't done one in a while, and I have a few questions in queue. This one is very long. It's this. I like to do the Ask Amillio segment with the cucumber and sausage. And actually, I'm gonna add one more element to this thing. Give me some more. This is what I have for right now. Just gonna add one more element to the show. I think it goes very well with the segment. And yeah, so let's eat. I'm gonna try this sauce. I haven't tried it. Well, I did get a little taste. Excuse me. Start this thing off with a burp. All right. With some of this cucumber. Let's see what she talking about. And then I'm gonna get to that Ask Amillio segment. How you guys doing today? Comment below if you're having a blessed day. Look at that spice. I like a little spice sometimes. I put a little 2 times spicy in there too, by the way. There's nothing like the fresh crunch of cucumber. These are you gotta be black at the bottom. If it ain't black, you ain't do it right. Those are andouille. I first tasted andouille when I went to New Orleans. Love it. It's not over salty. Has a perfect spice blend to it. It's perfect. All right. So this is a long question. Yeah, a little shorter question. It says, "Dear Amillio, I was recently." Let me say it towards y'all, towards the mic, so y'all can hear. "I was recently confronted by an employee of mine. They expressed their desire to have an intimate relationship with me. I'm married and own this company, and my husband runs the company for me. First, I was angry with the employee until he gave me some disturbing information. The information was on my husband cheating with another employee. I held my peace that day, so the FBI and me began to do my investigation, and the findings were disturbing. So for a week, I went to the company at opening time and watched. On the last day, I called a meeting. I introduced new employees to replace all the women." Okay. That's is that legal? I don't know. Yeah. To replace all the women, my soon ex-husband. My soon ex-husband was cheating with on me. I will not have to pay him a dime because all of the evidence my attorneys have. Plus, he signed a prenuptial agreement. That's always a good thing. Always sign that prenup. I don't care if you got millions and they got 100,000. When you leave, you got millions, and when they leave, they got the 100,000s that they came with. It's always the best thing. He will leave with what he came with, and we have nothing with both names on it. I am protecting my. Am I wrong for protecting my assets? By no means. By no means are you wrong. I don't know if that was the question. It seems like the initial question was what you didn't ask, which was basically what should you do in the situation is always the root. This always seems to be the root of, most of the questions that I get. A lot of these questions are involved in work, environment, and relationships. A lot of you people, not you people, but a lot of you have seem to have these work relationships that are not so good for your personal life. I don't know what kind of work environment that you're in. I'm gonna start eating. I don't know what kind of work environment that you're in. Put some of this B-Love sauce on this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. My Lord. Jesus. Oh, my. Jesus wept. I don't know what kind of work environment you are in, but I just know that, oh, Lord, yes. The work environment that I'm in, the environment in itself is enough. You know what I mean? Let alone to have something going on. Working with a spouse, I couldn't imagine how that feels. Working with a spouse and having the same gender role there while you're not there. You definitely have to have I like this neat little wooden spoon. Ain't that neat little wooden spoon? This was also submitted by a subscriber. This wooden spoon. I thought this was very neat. I have another one as well. Yeah, I mean the work environment in itself is already enough, and then you're adding spouse things, and it's just it ain't always the best thing. So you said you asked me were you wrong for protecting your assets. I'd say no. Some people would say yes. Some people would beg to differ. I say no. Mm. I say no. I mean, I'm assuming since there was a prenup signed, that there was a level of understanding in the beginning. If this goes sour, we both leave what we came with. But my thing with the prenups is, if we have to sign one, isn't that an indication that it's not going to last? Not to dismiss the whole cause of what it's for, not to dismiss that at all, but it just would seem to me that that would be somewhat of an indication that this may not work out. So I'm going to have you sign this document. My good Jesus. I could eat this every day. So I'm going to have you sign this document. So when this goes bad, I love my sausage burnt. My. But when this goes bad, we both will be in a okay place. It sounds to me, since there was a prenup in the making, initially, that you both had an idea that it wouldn't last. Oh, it's spicy. I love it. So why put yourself in that situation? Why put yourself in a situation to where you're not trusting of one another? I've never understood that. Never have I understood that. Never. So in my opinion, no, I don't think you're wrong for protecting yourself and protecting your assets. So good. So good. I think he should leave with what he came with. I think he should leave with what he came with. Now, I do feel if there was something built together, that you both are owed that thing. biggest thing with things like cheating and things like that, there's always an indication. Like, stop thinking, I'm not saying that you did. Stop thinking you can change people. I'm not saying that's what you was doing. This man is gonna be the same man he was when you met him. And ain't nothing gonna change that. I'm gonna let you know right now, from a man's perspective, a man is gonna be who he is at all times, regardless of whether you're watching or not. So if you knew in the beginning who this man was, then you knew what you were signing up for. Hence the reason you signed the prenup. Now, my idea towards the cheating thing, may be a little different than other people's. I feel that the other person involved has absolutely nothing to do, you know, with the situation. Because oftentimes, in situations such as work situations, that person is vulnerable to the person that writes the check. True enough, they could quit, find another job, find elsewhere to work. True enough, I totally, get that. They can quit. True enough, I totally get that. But everybody isn't mentally capable of doing that. Everybody's mental is different. Y'all see that? I know y'all see all them piles of onion and ginger on there. Everybody's thought process is different. I don't think it's fair to fire all the women for one woman's mistake, for your husband's mistake. And it's a stretch. It's a stretch to even call it a mistake, because a mistake is made once. Something that you continue to do again is not a mistake any longer. Oh my gosh, I didn't even do a thumbnail. Let's see if it'll get to me. But yeah, excuse me. You can only make a mistake one time. Make sure we're still recording. You can only make a mistake one time. If you continue to do something such as that, then it's intentional, and you have no care for the other person's feelings. I'm not saying that the woman that he's involved with is innocent, but I feel like the people that are not involved are. True enough, they're in the establishment every day, and true enough, they probably do know. And true enough, you probably feel like, y'all just got me walking around this establishment looking me in my face and lying to me, and I'm writing your check. I totally get it. Totally get it. Y'all supposed to have my back. My name is on the check. He just, the face. Totally get it. I totally get it. But at the same time, it's not their place. Their place as an employee, you have to understand, you have to be able to differentiate, workplace and personal life. Your place is as an employee is an employee. It's unfortunate that they were caught and your husband's mishap. You know, it's unfortunate. I don't think they should suffer for that. I wouldn't say that was a wise decision to just fire them like that. But still company, I can't tell you what to do. But people have kids, people have lives. Everybody isn't mentally, like I stated earlier, capable enough of just moving on, to something else. Everybody doesn't have the education or the knowledge or know-how to just move on like that. I wouldn't say that was fair to them, in my opinion. Yeah, it's wrong because if one person know, everybody there know, and yeah, they probably was looking you in your face every day, smiling. But you created the environment. As you stated, you gave the position to your husband and to the employees. So in a sense, it's almost your fault. In a sense, you may want to turn the finger around and point it at yourself. Because, yes, all of these things are happening. No, it's not right. No, nobody wants to go through it. No, nobody should have to go through it. But as you stated, you're the, top tier person. So you created this environment. You created the storm, but you don't want to weather it. That's basically what you're saying. So you may want to turn the finger around and point it at yourself. I feel people need to start taking responsibility and looking deeper into the situation. No, we can't control nobody else's actions. Yeah, people do things that ain't right. That rice just soaked that sauce right on up, didn't it? But at the same time, I love that crisp burnt at the bottom. At the same time, as you stated, you created this environment. So don't punish nobody else for what you did. And if you're going to point the finger, and if you must point the finger, make sure, we're adults and taking responsibility for our own actions, basically, is what I'm trying to say. My advice is to leave the situation in an adult manner, is my advice. Advise him. You don't have to. But as I stated, you also played, my lips are burning from this sauce. As I stated, you also played a part in this. So play your part. Continue to play your part. And own up to what you did. Also, people love to point the finger at situations, but neglect to own up their part of the situation. Because they feel they were done wrong, and they had no reason. Y'all probably won't be able to see these cucumbers because these cucumbers ain't bad. They're actually pretty good. Yeah, people love to point the finger at situations, but when things are directed towards them, they feel like they're not a part of the situation because they were the one done wrong. But oftentimes, not in all cases, in this case, and in some cases, oftentimes, we're the creator of our own demise. But we feel since we were such a blessing to someone else that we don't have the right to be hurt. Yeah, intentions were good. You intended to bless your husband with a level of profession to where he could eat and help the family eat. You intended to bless the employees with a level of profession to where they can eat. Yeah, your intentions may have been good, And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but you have to understand, just because your intentions are good, and just because, you know, um, you doing the right thing, everybody's mindset ain't like yours. You know, everybody don't think the way that you think, and everybody don't have to think the way that you think. So you have to remember that everybody's mindset is different. Everybody not gonna think the way that you think. Everybody's not gonna be as kind as you are. Everybody ain't gonna treat you good because you treat them good. You know, some people just don't care. They don't tell them what that man was telling whoever this person is. You know, they don't tell them how they would threaten them or whoever she is or what they were promising. Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. I would look deeper into the situation. Um, you don't owe her an explanation because she didn't feel that she owed you one when she slept with your husband. Understand? Mm. Damn, that rice sucked all that dang on sauce right on up. I cannot believe that. I think I got some more. I have more actually. Well, yeah. She didn't feel like she owes you no explanation when she was sleeping with your man. So I ain't saying you owe no explanation. But you two owe it to each other to sit down and discuss what your plans are as adults. Like I say, you as an adult, you need to own up to the fact that you created the environment and the situation, and that's what happened. Him as an adult needs to own up to the fact that he did what he did. It doesn't sound like you're in a forgiving mood. Excuse me. Or that you're willing to move past it. Don't sound like that. I love these. I feel like I'm Mari. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know where I got this from, right? Ask Steve. For those of y'all that watch Steve Harvey show. I got this from Ask Steve. But yeah. So you saying you doing all this investigation and findings were disturbing. You're going to the company at opening time and watching people. Not that you don't have the right to do that. Not that you don't have the right to call meetings. But you're replacing all the women. So what are your intentions? Now that you're replacing all the women, is your intentions to get all guys and do, turn around and do what he did so that the karma can now be on you? That's not the adult thing to do. I wouldn't recommend it. So regardless of what you think, until nobody says anybody doing somebody wrong, they going through. And that karma eating them up. They may not show it. But I can guarantee you that karma is eating their butts up. Okay? Always remember, y'all. You ain't got to do nothing to nobody when it comes to them doing you wrong. They gonna get theirs. I can guarantee. They gonna get theirs. When I tell you they gonna get it, they gonna get it. They gonna get it. You don't have to worry about it. They gonna get theirs. So, oh yeah, that's my advice. Get your lawyer, If you don't feel like talking to them, and the lawyer to sit between the two of you, if you feel like it's going to be some type of massive disturbance or something like that. You don't have to even you ain't gotta let them you don't even have to communicate. The lawyer can communicate for you. You don't have to do the this is my evidence. Let the lawyer let the lawyer do it for you. Just be present so you both can go ahead and drain that emotional energy that's keeping you two apart. So when it's all said and done, it's all said and done. A lot of times people think because you sign this paper that says I'm divorced, it's over. You can't be with people and share energy and spaces for so many years and it's just over just like that. You know what I'm saying? The only way that can happen is if you both be adults, excuse me, and make conscious decisions with one another as to say, this ain't working. It's okay. Okay? A lot of people are so afraid to say, this is not working. If it ain't working, it ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't sit up here and try to make yourself believe. I'm not saying that this is what you do, I'm just speaking in general. Don't try to make yourself believe that things are going to change because they're not. You know? And there's an old saying that's, a lot of people, generations before me, they would say, you marry this kind of person, you marry this kind of person, and, when y'all get together, y'all have differences. Yes, everyone has differences, but there's a difference between having differences and just outright clash. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between everyone's going to have differences. It's absolutely correct. That's absolutely true. Everyone will have differences. But there's a difference between just, you two just ain't, meshing. And it's okay. It's okay. Everybody wants the wedding, but nobody wants the marriage. And I'm not saying that to anyone specific in general. But, and even with your situation, Anonymous, because that's what you label yourself as, even with your situation, I'm not saying that that's a part of marriage, but that's a part of some marriages. That's a part of, boyfriend and girlfriend. That's a part of, and a lot of people gonna say, well, you signed that paper, that's it. You shouldn't be out there. We all know what everybody shouldn't be doing. I probably shouldn't be eating a bowl of butter, but I am. You know what I'm saying? It's unsalted, so it's healthy. But it's a lot of things that a lot of people shouldn't be doing, and we have that understanding. But if y'all are just not clicking, it's okay to come together as adults and say this is not working. Don't walk around with your head down. Don't walk around in silence. Don't walk around in fear in your own house. The energy is thick as butter, and you can cut it with a knife, and that's disturbing. It's disturbing to your inner peace. It's disturbing to your health. You wondering why you ain't got no edges. A lot of people ain't got edges because of lace fronts, but that's a whole different story. We get on that another topic. But Kenya Moore has edge control. That's random. But either way, it's just unhealthy. It's unhealthy. It's an unhealthy environment. Why place yourself in an unhealthy environment? If it's not working, excuse me, tell yourself, I don't think this is working. What do we need to do? I said we, like self is more than one person. But what would be the best thing? My camera cut off. Yeah, just tell yourself, what do I need to do to, make my living situation healthier? And then you make a decision. Part of being an adult is about making decisions, and it's unfortunate some of the decisions that we have to make, but you have to put your big girl pants on and make a decision to do what's best for you. on your mentality. So that's my advice. Put your big girl pants on. You know, it didn't work. Life goes on. I'm saying it that easy because I'm not in the situation, of course. But it can be that easy for you. So that's my advice. You two need to be adults. Talk. And tell yourself, this ain't it. It's not working. You know, let's figure out how we can move forward, in life. And, so that we can have better, mental states for ourselves. I don't know if you have children, but it's very important for the children not to have to go through that, not to have to be in the house with that cruddy energy, because it's apparent. Don't think it's not affecting your coworkers and the people around you. It's affecting everybody around you. You're not the only one going through when it's situations like that. You're not. Everybody sees it, but you. So let it go if it ain't working. And if you think it can work, then y'all need to come together as adults and try to figure it out. So that's my advice. I hope you, I hope it was what you needed. Uh-oh. But yeah, y'all always feel free to send me questions to the Ask Amillio segment. My email, socialfulfoods@gmail.com, is always going to be in the description box below. Add me on Instagram at Amillio Rafael. Thank you guys so much for all your time. Thank you so much for trusting me with your questions in your personal lives. I don't take it for granted. I take these topics very seriously. This is always going to be a serious segment. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, sometimes we joke. It don't have to always be serious questions. I just been getting serious questions lately. But I thank you for entrusting me and thinking that I could give you, a positive outlook on the situation and good advice. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Team Picasso. It's almost 2020. Birthday countdown. Saturday.